Welcome everyone, this is Made with Matt, and this is the first video from a series where we take designs, convert them to Figma, and then convert them to React Native. So today we're going to be building out a food app user interface. So that's what we have here. This is going to be the end product, and let's hop right into it and start building. So first thing you're going to want to do is open up figma.com. So figma.com is a place where you can create designs, prototypes really easily. And the first thing we'll want to do is we'll want to create a frame. So basically a frame is just a container for your design. In our case, we want to use an iPhone 11 Pro or an iPhone X. So let's select that and let's give it a title right off the bat. So let's call this one Home. So first thing we'll want, if we're looking at this image here, is we'll want a header. So to make a header, we can click O, or we can go here and click ellipse. Once we have one, make one like this. And I believe the size is going to be 50. Let's try that out. 50. Let's see. Seems like it's a bit too big. So let's scale it properly. And let's bring it down to 40 and 40. Perfect. Great. So now we can line these two up so that we're good to go, and we'll place it right here, 20 on the left and 60 on the top. So if you see these red lines, basically the way I'm doing that is I'm holding down the Option key on Mac, and what that does is it tells you how many pixels there are currently between two items. So right now we have this selected, so let's do that again. We have the circle selected. If I click Option and I drag my mouse to the left, I'll see that we're 20 pixels away from the left border and 60 away from the top. So that's a good spot to have your header at. So let's leave it like that. And the next thing is I'll drag in an icon. So these icons you could get on Flat Icon, really anywhere. I mean, there's a lot of free icons online. So there we go. And we'll just place it 20 and aligned with the circle here. So that's perfect. Next thing is we want to place this image in the circle. So to do that, the best way, which I highly recommend, is you download a plugin. So just look up plugins Figma, and the plugin here is Unsplash. What Unsplash has is a lot of free images. And what we'll do here is we'll search for person. We'll scroll down to find the right person that we have in the other image. Where is it? I believe it's this one. Yep. So let's click that, and there you go. It's as simple as that. So we have the header done, and the next step is to create these titles. So let's jump right into it. So to create a title, you could either click T or you click the T up here. So I click T and you just click on the screen, write what you want to write, and there you go. So this font is Montserrat. So let's change our font to that one. Perfect. And it seems like they're using a font size of 16. Let's try that out. Does that look about right? Yep. Yeah, there we go. So let's align it on the left, and let's put it a padding of 30 from the top, or sorry, a margin of 30 from the top. Great. Now we could copy paste that and place it under. And here we're gonna write delivery. So this one is bolded, so let's bold that. And it seems like a bigger font. In this case, we could try 30, or I guess 32. Yeah, that looks about right. Let's make sure it's still 10 from the top. Perfect. And is it aligned on the left? It is. Great. So next thing we'll do is this search bar. So I already have some icons ready on my second screen, which is why you see my mouse constantly going back and forth. So let me place it in here. Perfect. And we'll do 30 from the top here. Great. Next thing, once we have the icon, and like I said, you could get this from Flat Icon, same place where you got this one. just go flaticon.com and type in search. So now we want this little search placeholder. So let's type it in, ... This one seems like it's semi-bold, I believe. And it's also going to be smaller. So let's go for 14. Perfect. Let's put that up here. Great. And let's put that 10 away from the search icon. Great. To make this little line on the bottom, you could make like a rectangle, but what's nice about Figma is they actually have a line tool. So you click line here, or you could just click L, keyboard shortcut, and then you click and drag. So here we're gonna click and drag all the way till the end. Perfect. And we'll make it a width of 2. Looks good. Let's just align it with the search bar, or sorry, the search placeholder. That looks about right. Okay, great. So that's perfect. Let's check the right side, 21. We want it to be 20. Great. Okay, awesome. Now you'll see that the colors are a bit different for now. We'll fix that up once we get the design down. Usually, you start with black and white, or you just start with a general design, and then afterwards you change the colors. So let's go to this categories tab. So categories, just like that. Let's get it 30 from the top, so it seems like. Okay, and this one's also going to be bolded since it's a title, and a size of 16. Great. Now let's make sure it's 20 on the left. Perfect. Now the fun part. So we get into these cards. So to build these cards, these are just rectangles with curved edges. So let's click the rectangle tool, line it up properly. That looks about right. And let's try with 25. That looks like too much. 15. That's too little. Right in the middle. There we go. 20. Perfect. Yep, that looks good. So let's carry it over. And we'll make it 20 margin from the top. Great. Actually, you know what? Let's make this 15. It looks like 15. Awesome. Okay. And the next thing we'll need, let's put this little circle here to start off. So this circle, we could click O once again, or the ellipse tool. Let's make this white. Okay, great. And I think we'll want to make it slightly bigger, just because we need to put the icon in there. So let's make it 26. Solid. Looks good. So to line things up, I'm clicking the ellipse, and then I'm holding Shift and clicking this rectangle. And by doing that, if I go up here now, I can line it up properly. In this case, I don't want to do that, but I could have lined it up in the middle if I wanted to. But basically it lines the circle up within the bigger rectangle. Awesome. So let's put this little chevron icon. So I'll go get it in my other screen, place it in, and where is it? It's all the way up here. So let's bring it down and line it up. Perfect. Great. Next step will be to write pizza. Let's put that at 15, or actually looks like 20. Great. And this one's going to be semi-bold and slightly smaller, 14. And let's line it up in the middle. Nice. Next thing we'll need is this little pizza image, which I'll include the link to the Figma files and the images down below, so you could find them all there. But just paste it in, and let's put it 15 or 10. What does it look like? Yeah, seems about right. Actually, let's put it a bit higher. Okay, great. So now we have one of our cards, and now we can copy and paste this. Make a sec. Oh, actually, we forgot something. Redo. So before we copy and paste it, let's first add some drop shadow. Here you could see a bit of shadowing. So effects, drop shadow, let's bump this up to 10. And let's put this at 5%. Do we see it enough? So let's change this to 15%, so we see it a bit more. And Y to 2, there we go, seems about right. Now let's copy this, paste it, put it at 15, great. And now we have our cards. Awesome. So let's just delete this one. Okay, looks good. So it seems like these are a bit further away from each other at 20. So let's do that. Great, awesome. The next part is this popular category or section. So let's just copy the title up here so we don't have to reformat it. Let's put it at 30 from the top. Great. All right, cool. So now that we have the cards up here in the categories, the next part is going to be the popular section. So the popular section, let's first build out one of these cards. So the easiest way, let's just create a rectangle and let's drag it over, line it up, and make sure we've got the sizing right before moving into anything else. Great. Seems almost the same. Let's just round it up to 160. Yeah, looks good. 161. Okay, great. Perfect. And now let's try a border of 25. Yeah, that looks perfect. Great. So let's drag it back in here. Let's put top margin of 10. Make sure the left is still at 20. Great. Okay. And now we'll start with the top of the week here, the title. So to do that, once again, go to flaticon.com or go to the Figma file I'll provide in the description below and copy and paste this crown icon. So we'll put this 20 from the left and let's say 30 from the top. That's kind of where it, no, it seems to be 20 and 20. Perfect, so let's do that. Now we'll add top of the week. Great, place that right next to it at 10 margin. And let's bring this down to 14. And semi-bold, awesome. 1, 2, 3, perfect. So make sure they're lined up like that. Okay, great. The next thing is going to be this title here, Primavera Pizza. Let's line it up 30 from the top. Awesome. And I think we could leave it like that. We don't have to change any. We have semi-bold and 14. Looks good. So let's go below it. T, type text, weight, 540 grams. Let's align that here, 5 from the top, and still, no, here, let's put that 20, great. So this is 5 from the top. This one does look like a smaller font size, so let's bring that down to 12, and let's leave it as semi-bold, but it's a different color, but once again, we said colors we'll deal with after, so we'll leave it like that for now. This next part seems like it's a rectangle with curved edges with a plus icon in the middle. So let's do that. So rectangle, which we can't see because it's the same color. So let's put it red for now. Just for simplicity, drag it up, let's say, so that it's 10 from the top. Nice. And it doesn't go too far out. Let's say something like this. Okay, awesome. And now we're only gonna wanna change the bottom left and top right borders. We wanna curve them. So we could click this here, independent corners, and get the bottom left one, which is this one here. Put that as 25, and the top right one as 25 as well. Awesome, so looks pretty similar. Now let's get a plus icon to throw it in here. Place it in the middle. Nice. And this section's done. Now let's move on to this rating. Let's get the icon in here. Perfect. And right next to it, we'll have some text. T 5.0. Line it up. Center. Great. Okay, that looks good. Next thing we'll want is this picture of the pizza. So this you could find in the Figma file I've provided. Place it in here. Let's shrink it a bit. Okay, that looks good. And basically the way to make it cut off like this is you need to make this rectangle a mask. And what the mask does is it basically wraps all the items surrounding it inside the mask and doesn't let anything out of it. So to do that, we could right click the rectangle, use as mask, and then go get this image and place it in the mask. There you go. So that looks good. And now we're just gonna need to make another rectangle in here as the background. So let's place this rectangle in the mask. There we go. So it seems like these two have a lot too much spacing. So let's copy them and let's drag them up until they're at 20. Perfect. And let's leave it like that. And it also seems like here there's too much spacing. Let's drag these two at 20. That is looking better. Perfect. So now that that's done, let's copy it, paste it, and drag it down with a top margin of 20. So if you check down below in the link I've sent with my Figma mockup, or well, the Figma icons, images, and colors, you'll find the colors that we need. So let's paste that in here. So these are all the colors that we need. So let's just get started and hop right into it. So we'll click home and we'll change the fill. You can click this little icon, which you see you hover and it gets all the colors, to this one here. Perfect. Next thing is we'll want all the icons and anything that's black right now to be this text color. So let's click that. Great. All of these. Let's click them. And let's change the stroke to this color here. Great. These icons as well. Or sorry, this text. This text here. This icon. Text, text, text. Let's change it all to this color. Amazing. And the next thing, let's add the colors here. So this one's going to be the yellow. Perfect. This one's going to be white. Just drag it up, and the circle in here is going to be our secondary color, with this one being white as well. Nice. Here we'll put the background as white, the circle here as our secondary color, and this is white as well. Now onto the popular card. So here we'll want the background to be white on this one as well. Great. We'll want this to be our text, our gray text, and this one down below as well. Perfect. And lastly, change this to yellow. There we go. Last thing that I'm just noticing is here we have some drop shadow and here we don't. So let's just add some really quickly. Effects, drop shadow, bump this up to 10 again. Place this at 2 and this at 15. There we go. Let's do the same for this one. Let's just remove it and copy this one. Great. All right, so there we go. First page done. So now that we've got the first page done, the home page, we'll want to move on to this details page. So let's get this one out of the way and bring this one in. And let's create a new frame. So once again, frame, iPhone X, drag this over here, align it, align this one as well, and let's get to it. So let's start off with the colors actually on this one, where we'll start with the background right here. Great. And here we need to start with the header, then we'll move on to the titles. So the header in this case, we could see that the back icon is a rectangle, but just the border with a back icon. And then the star or favorite here is the same thing, a rectangle with an icon in the middle. So let's build that out. So let's create R for rectangle. And let's build one that's 40 by 40. It seems about right. Let's place it at 20 once again and 60 from the top. Awesome. Right off the bat, we'll start with changing the border radius to 10 and removing the fill inside, adding a stroke, and this stroke will add it as the gray text color that we've been using. Now, next thing, let's just make the border width 2 so we can see it a bit better. Great. Now we could go and grab this icon that we've been using for basically like as an arrow, and we could place it here and flip it 180 degrees to get it going back. Looks good. Let's copy that, paste it, and bring it to the right side. Make sure it's at 20 from the right and 60 from the top. Awesome. And this time we're going to remove the stroke or the border and add a fill. Now in here, we'll add a star icon. We already have a star here, so let's just copy and paste it. Remove this one and throw this one in. Nice. And this one I believe is white, so let's make it white. There we go. Perfect. So now we're just gonna need a title. So let's copy this title in. Right here, 30 from the top. And we'll call it Primavera Pizza. Very nice. And it looks like it's already formatted properly, so we don't have to do that. Great. Let's add some more text with $5.99. This one, let's make it 20 from the top, I believe. Yeah, that looks about right. Make sure it's still 20 on the left. Here, this looks like it's semi-bolded, not entirely bolded, and let's change the fill to our price. Looks good. Next thing, we'll add the size. This looks like it's 14. Yep. 30 from the top. Make sure it's aligned on the left. Good. And then right under it, we'll have medium, 14 inches. Solid. I believe this is going to be a slightly larger 16. Yep, looks good. Let's copy that, paste it, place it 30 under. Nice. And let's do that one more time. There we go. So this one's going to be crust, then crust, and here we'll have delivery in 30 min. Awesome. So let's select all the titles here, fill, change it to our text, and also change it from semi-bold to medium, I believe. Yep, that looks about right. And seems like they're a bit closer to each other than we thought. So let's select them all and bring them up by 10. There we go. Yeah, that looks way better. So now let's add the correct color to these, the right fill, text. Looks good. Okay, great. So now let's move on to the ingredients. So the ingredients section, just like this. Let's put it at 20 from the left. And let's make this bold since it is a title, and 16. Okay, great. Let's also make it 60 from the top. That seems about right. And the next thing we'll want are these little cards. So to make these cards, once again, rectangle tool, drag it out. 20 from the top, 20 from the left side. And if we get the sizing, let's try 100. So these ones, let's change the fill to white. Let's add some effects here, drop shadow, same configuration we've been using. Oh, that's 10, 2, and 15. Looks good. And let's change this to 25. Seems a bit too extreme, so 15. Great. Now we'll want to add the image of ham. So let's throw that in right there. Place it in the center. Perfect. Seems like this might have moved, so let's fix it up. 1, 2. So now we're going to want to do that 3 or 4 more times to fit them all in. So let's do that. Let's just drag it over. Check the distance as 15. Great. Let's bring both these over now. Perfect. So let's change the picture. In this case, let's remove that one. Place the tomato. There we go. And this one, let's remove it and add the garlic. Center it. 1, 2. Good. Last thing we've got is placing an order. So let's draw this out. This is once again a rectangle. And this rectangle, it just has some rounded edges. Looks good. Perfect. Drag this out like that. This out like this. Great. And it looks like 50, something like that. Yep, perfect. Okay. Let's drag that over to here. And let's place it slightly higher, 60 from the items on top. Now let's make sure it's also centered. Good. And 20 on each side. Awesome. So this is going to be yellow right there. And here we'll just type in some text. So place an order is going to be bolded and a size of 14. Place that here. And we'll go and get this icon again. Copy and paste it so that we can have it right there as we see in the image. And now it's appearing under the rectangle because the rectangle is higher up. So let's just drag it on top like that. There we go. Let's remove the 180-degree turn. Let's put it 5 or 10 from each other. 10 looks about right. And then let's center this. So we could eyeball it. Seems about right. Yep, there we go. There are some small touch-ups that we need to do right here. These two should be gray. So let's change those to our gray. Perfect. And now we're done. So here we have the header on both sides that are pretty similar. We have the titles. Here we have a search bar, our categories, which this will be a scroll view. or a flat list that you could horizontally scroll, and the popular section where you can scroll up to see more. So last thing we're going to want to do is add this pizza image here. So let's go grab the pizza, paste it in, and line it up in the center here. Okay, looks pretty good. So let's move this over, and there you have it. Here we have our home, and let's change this to details. Your home and details pages done through Figma. So that's it for this video. We created a food app user interface UI using Figma. If this was the first time for you using Figma, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, and let me know if there's any other designs you'd like me to convert from pictures to actual designs that we can later implement using code. So like this video, subscribe, and leave a comment. And next video that's coming soon is we're going to be actually creating this UI in React Native, so in actual code. So stay tuned for that.